Okay, I know I said every other Saturday, do not get used to this. But something happened on Friday at midnight that made me get the camera back out. Because the biggest housing law in more than 30 years just went on the books. And here's the part that sounds made up. Nobody signed it. Quick civics lesson they skipped in school, right next to Blair Mountain, Andy Lane. The Constitution, Article 1, Section 7, if the Congress sends the president a bill, if he does not sign it or veto it within 10 days, Sundays accepted, like it was never optional. The founders built a shot clock. Congress sent this bill to the White House on June 29th. The president said he would not sign it, not because of anything in the bill. He said so himself, that it was about a totally different bill about elections. He even called this one, quote, a yawn. 10 days ran out Friday night. Saturday morning, it was the law of the land. No ceremony, no pens, no photo op. The Constitution does not need a Sharpie. And look at who built it, because this is the part that gives me hope. It is called the 21st Century Road to Housing Act, written by Senator Tim Scott, Republican of South Carolina, and Senator Elizabeth Warren, Democrat of Massachusetts. Yes, those two are arguably the most conservative and the most progressive corners of the Senate Banking Committee. And they sat at a table for 2 years and wrote a housing bill together. Their committee passed it 24-0. Carried through the House by Congressman French Hill, Republican of Arkansas, who represents my district, alongside Congresswoman Maxine Waters, Democrat of California, Mike Flood of Nebraska, Emmanuel Cleaver of Missouri. The private equity piece was written by Raphael Warnock, Democrat of Georgia, and Bernie Moreno, Republican of Ohio. Now, let me be clear about how this channel works, because I'm about to thank politicians by name. I disagree with some of these people hard in writing, and I will again if the need arises. Nothing I say today is an endorsement of anybody. On this channel, we grade the work, not the jersey. When they build something real, we say so by name. When they fall short, we say so by name too. Same standard, everybody, both parties, forever. And this was real work. Final votes, 85-5 in the Senate. 358-32 in the House. When was the last time you saw numbers like that on anything that matters? So Senator Scott, Senator Warren, Congressman Hill, and everybody who voted yes in both parties, thank you. This is the job. Fair question, does any of this reach your street? Let me translate. If you rent, if you have a Section 8 voucher, homes that already passed a federal inspection this year automatically qualify. That sounds boring until you know that the inspection hassle is a top reason landlords refuse vouchers. Fewer refusals, faster move-ins. And if you rent in a small town in a USDA building, your rental assistance no longer disappears just because the building's mortgage got paid off. That one quietly protects hundreds of thousands of rural families, and nobody will ever make a movie about it. If you're trying to buy for the first time ever, federal law says the biggest institutional investors, the ones who own 350 or more single-family homes, cannot buy more single-family homes. Starts around January, runs 15 years, $1 million penalty. Now, honesty, that is what we do around here. Those firms own a small slice of all housing nationwide. So do not expect a flood of cheap listings Monday. But in the specific neighborhoods where they concentrated, mostly Sunbelt starter home zip codes, you just stopped bidding against hedge funds with your FHA pre-approval letter. Also in here, an FHA pilot program for mortgages under $100,000. Banks basically had quit writing small mortgages, which locked regular people out of the cheapest houses in rural Arkansas and towns like it. And if an appraisal comes in suspiciously low, you now have a federal right to ask for a second look. Some of you know exactly why that matters. If you are a veteran, this one should make you angry it was ever broken. Homeless veterans applying for housing vouchers used to have their disability benefits counted as income, which could make them, quote, too rich for help. Sit with that. Fixed. And every mortgage application now has to tell veterans they may qualify for a VA loan. because huge numbers never use the benefit they earn. If you build, some of you know my family runs a small home building operation. So let me tell you what the clock costs. Every month, a lot sits in permitting is a month of interest, insurance, and a crew you are trying to keep busy. This law funds cities to adopt pattern books, pre-approved home designs that skips months of review. It streamlines environmental paperwork for infill lots. It makes cities publish a public map of buildable government land, which means the little guy can finally see the same inventory the big guys pay scouts to find. And it eases up on community banks, the ones that actually finance small builders. None of that is charity to builders. Faster yes means more houses, means lower prices. That is the whole ballgame. Now, to everyone I just thanked, good job. And the job is not finished. Anybody who builds knows about a punch list. It is the list of everything still wrong before you hand the keys over. This law has one, and item number 1 is money. This law appropriates $0 new dollars. Read that again. All those programs I just described are authorized, which in Washington means the toolbox exists, but nobody brought the fuel. Congress has to fund them next budget on purpose. A pilot program with no money is a press release. So Senator Scott, Senator Warren, Congressman Hill, you framed the House. Beautiful frame. Now finish it. Fund the programs you wrote. And the rest of the list. There are no new vouchers in here. So the poorest renters, the ones with the least, got the least. Zoning is still 100% your city council's decision. Washington bought carrots, not a stick. And most of this takes 1 to 2 years of rulemaking before you will ever feel it. Nobody's rent drops next month. It is not a miracle. It is a foundation. You know how I feel about construction project, but a foundation you never build on is just a slab in a field. Here's why I made a bonus episode about a housing bill. Everything that gets covered in politics is the fight, the clip, the dump, the shutdown clock, the signing ceremony that got canceled out of spite, theater. Meanwhile, the most important economic problem in most of our lives, the roof over our head, got a real, flawed, bipartisan 85-5 answer. And it became a law in the middle of the night with no cameras rolling. Nobody performed, they just built. That is a test I want you to carry into every election from now on. Not did my side win the fight, but who sat at the table and shipped something? 2 years, 2 parties, 1 table. More of that, please. Episode 2 drops Saturday, July 25th, 9 a.m. It's a big one. I'm Zach Carter. This channel is under construction. So is the country. See you in 2 weeks.